Namaste. Thank you all for joining Yoga Journey online. Hope you're doing well and I hope you enjoy this evening. So if you're new to the program, we're going to start with about 30-40 minutes of Hatha Yoga exercises to help us loosen up our body, relax the body. And then we're going to do some relaxation and mindfulness to help us calm the mind and be able to focus. And then the final part of the program is some meditation, both with breathing as well as with music. And this is really the core practice of the session. And it's all setting us up for the meditation. So we're going to get right into it. Just come to stand with your feet hip-width apart. You're going to plant the soles of the feet into your mat. You can be simultaneously lifting the arches of the feet, engaging the inner and outer thighs, lifting the pelvic floor and up through the center of the body, the sternum, the roof of the mouth, and the crown of the head. Let's open up our shoulders by turning our palms outward. And then keeping that nice openness in the shoulders, just allow your arms to rest at your sides. This is a mountain pose. We're going to now place our hands on our abdomen and begin to bring our awareness to our breathing. As we inhale, just allow your abdomen to relax and expand outwards like a balloon. And then as you exhale, just gently draw your abdomen back towards the spine, ending with a gentle squeeze. Breathe fully and completely. Let's place our hands on our lower rib cage. As you inhale, I want you to feel your ribs expanding outwards, broadening as you bring fresh oxygen into your lungs. Now place one hand on the collarbones and the other on the abdomen. As you inhale, feel the lifting of the collarbones, and as you exhale, feel them lowering. Fill your lungs first from the bottom, expanding your abdomen outwards, and then the middle, broadening the chest. And finally, filling the tops of the lungs and feeling the collarbones lifting. And then as you exhale, feel first the collarbones lowering, the ribs contracting, and then finally your abdomen drawing back towards your spine. Try to incorporate this breathing throughout the session. When you're holding your poses, remember this deep yoga breathing, and this will help you to get the most benefits out of each pose. So we're going to just do some neck exercises now. So just lower your chin towards your chest. And then as you inhale, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then lower again as you exhale. And one more time, inhale up and exhale down. I'm going to turn my head from side to side now. Just turning to look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale, look over the right shoulder. One more time on each side. Head back to neutral. Now bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Come back up. And left ear towards your left shoulder. And one more time on each side. Head back to neutral. And now imagine that you're drawing circles with your nose, starting small, moving in one direction, and then gradually making those circles larger. And finally reaching your full range of motion, and then coming back to neutral. And then making the circles in the opposite direction. Again, starting small and gradually increasing the size. Just move slowly, with intention. And bring your head back to neutral. We're going to hunch our shoulders up, relaxing our hands. And then stretch your fingertips down. Again, hunching the shoulders. And then stretching out through the fingertips. And one more time. Relax your shoulders, give your arms a shake. We're going to inhale, raising our arms up above our head. Exhale, and lower your arms to your sides. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Exhale, sighing the breath out. Just releasing any tension. We're going to now turn to face the short side of our mat. We'll do some warm-ups. Coming into mountain pose again, and then bringing your hands to your chest. We're going to inhale, raise our arms up above our head, come into a gentle back arch, engaging the pelvic floor strongly. And then exhale, and folding from the hip creases, just come down to halfway with a nice straight back. Take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, just slide your hands down all the way to the mat. Place your hands below your shoulders, shoulder width apart, and then step back with your left foot. You can bring your knee to the mat. Or if you want a little bit more strenuous pose, then just leave your knee up. Bring your heart forward. Now I'm going to step your right foot back and come into downward dog. So try to create a nice long line or straight line all the way from your wrists up to your sitting bones. But you can bend your knees here as much as you need to start with. We're going to lower one heel and then the other. Just warming up those hamstrings. Now we're going to bring both knees to the mat and sit back on our heels. Forehead on the mat. Bring your torso forward. Chest onto the mat. We'll come into Cobra Pose here. So before we lift our head and shoulders up off of the mat, we're going to stretch strongly up through the soles of our feet and engage the pelvic floor. Inhale and lift your head and shoulders up off of the mat. You can press into your hands and come up a little further. Exhale and lower back to the mat. Turn your toes under. Then push up back into downward dog. Begin to walk our feet forward. I'm going to forward fold now. And then we're going to step the right foot back. Bringing either with the knee up or with the knee down. And just bring our chest forward. I'll step that right foot forward back into a forward fold. Gonna tuck the tailbone, bending the knees, and then just gently unfurling the spine. Slower the better. Inhale, raising your arms up, straight up, palms together. Exhale and lower your hands to your heart center. Take a breath in. Exhale. Release any tension. Now we're going to do, still facing the short side of the mat, we're going to place our hands on our hips. Make sure that our hips are square to the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Now imagine that there's a line down the center of your mat. You're going to have both one foot on either side of that line, and keeping your feet on their correct side of the mat, you're just going to step the right foot forward. Make sure that it's not crossing over that center line and your hips are still facing forward. Now we're going to bend that right knee. Just tilt our pelvis upwards so we feel a nice stretch here in the hip flexor. Inhale, raise your arms besides your ears. Relax your shoulders down away from the ears. And just hold this pose with slow and even breathing for about 3 breaths. We're going to lower our hands, interlock our fingers. Now we're going to straighten the leg. Lift your hands up, elbows are nice and straight. Exhale and come down with a straight back just as far as you can until you meet resistance in your hamstrings. You want to make sure that you're folding over that center line of the mat. Lifting your hands up towards the ceiling. Don't hold your breath here. Remember your yoga breathing. And if you need to, you might want to have just a slight bend in your front knee, especially if you find that you have hyperextending joints. So to come up, just bend your knee, come back up, and step your foot back. Place your hands on your hips and do the other side. So step your left foot forward. Hips still square to the mat. I'm going to bend that knee. And just tilt our pelvis upwards so we feel that nice stretch in our hip flexors. Raise your arms to the sides. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And hold this pose for 3 breaths. Press evenly into the mat with both feet. Place your hands behind your back, interlock your fingers, straighten your elbows, straighten your knee, and then fold forward over that center line of the mat, bringing your hands up towards the ceiling. Bending that knee and then coming back up and stepping your foot back. With their feet together now, or still hip width apart. And raise our arms out upwards, and we're going to just sit back as if we're about to sit on a chair, but it's an imaginary chair. Just want your spine to be nice and neutral. And just hold this pose with your yoga breathing. We're going to come up, lower our arms, and turn to the long side of the mat. Separate your feet a bit wider than shoulder width. Place your hands in front of your chest. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into a squat, bending those knees. You're going to bend them over your second toe, just coming down with a nice straight back as far as you can. And hold. Breathing slowly and evenly. Let's come up. Take a breath in. Exhale. We'll come into the pose again. And coming back up. This time we're going to come up onto our toes. Lifting upwards. We're going to come back into a squat, but this time leaving our heels up. This makes it a bit more strenuous. And back up. Lifting upwards. One more time with our heels up. And come back up. And finally lower your heels to the mat. We're going to walk our feet even wider apart, with the toes facing inwards slightly. We'll come into a wide leg forward fold. So with your hands on your hips, you want to just lift your spine upwards, nice straight back. And then folding from the hip creases, come down to halfway. And if you can, you can place your hands on the mat here. And just stay at halfway. If you have any high blood pressure or low blood pressure, this should be enough. If you otherwise, if you want to go further, you can bend your elbows and just lower your head to the floor. You might like to place one fist on top of another and rest your head on your fists. Just relax in this inversion. Come back to a halfway now. So just leaving your hands on the mat, allowing your circulation to re-stabilize. And then bend your knees and come up with a straight back. Walk your feet together. And then we'll come onto all fours. So you want to have your hands below your shoulders, shoulder width apart, knees below your hips, hip width apart. We're going to do some cat-cows. So we're going to inhale, lowering our abdomen, arching our back, bringing our chest forward and our head up. Exhale, and rounding your back, lowering your head and your tailbone. Alternate these movements in time with your breathing. Finally, bring your spine to neutral. We're going to bring the right knee to your nose. As we exhale. And then as we inhale, we're going to straighten our leg. And one more time. And then we'll do the other side. Left knee to your nose. And then extend. Exhale. And inhale. Back to neutral. Now, we come into Pigeon Pose. So from tabletop, we're going to bring the right knee just behind your wrist. Going to slide the left leg back and try to bring your foot behind, or bring it forward as much as you can. Now, just pay close attention to how your knees are feeling in this pose. And if you feel any strain in your knees, then just don't go into the pose too far. Just stay within your comfort level. You might also like to grab a cushion if you have one nearby. You can place it under your hips. You can tuck your toes under if that takes the pressure off your knees. So you can use those variations if you need to, or you can just place your foot flat on the mat. Come up onto your fingertips if you feel like it. And just bringing your chest forward and looking up towards the ceiling. Opening up your chest. And coming to lower your chest to the mat. Sliding your hands forward. Remember to listen to your body. If this doesn't feel right for you, then just come to rest in child's pose. Let's come up and bring our knee back to the other side. So child's pose is just you sit back on your heels with your arms extended, resting your forehead on the mat. You can come into that pose anytime you feel like it. If any of these poses aren't working for you, then just go ahead and rest in child's pose. So we'll do the other side now. So bring your left knee to your left wrist and try to bring your foot forward as much as you comfortably can. And then slide your right leg back. Come up onto your fingertips, bringing your chest forward and looking up. So you inhale. If you would like to go further, then you can just fold forward. Let's walk our hands back up. Bring our foot back. And we're going to come into a side plank. So just kneeling in the center of your mat. We're going to bring the left foot out to the side. And then just come up, or lower your right hand onto the mat. Bringing your left hand beside your ear, stretching those fingertips. Just coming into a nice angle here. You can either stay here, or if you want to go into a full side plank, then just bring your right leg underneath your left. Let's bring that leg back to the center. Come back up. Back onto both knees. Inhale, raising both arms up above your head. Interlock your fingers. Turn your palms up. Stretch upwards and look up to your hands. It's called Waterfall Pose. It's a very invigorating pose. Then we'll release our hands. Extend our right leg out to the side. Lower our left hand to the mat. Create that nice angle here. Through the length of our body from our ankle all the way up to our fingertips. And again, if you want to go into the full pose, and just bring your leg to meet the other. Back up out of the pose. One more time, waterfall pose. Release your hands. We're going to sit down, bringing the soles of our feet together and drawing them in close. Coming into cobbler's pose. So you want to have a nice straight back here, lifting up through the top of your head. And just lowering your knees with your hands as much as you can comfortably. Now if you're able to go into a bit of a forward fold, you can go ahead and do that. Just walking your fingers forward if you like. And just stopping when you meet resistance. You don't want to overstretch the muscles in your groin there. So don't go too far. Let's come back up. I'm just going to extend my right leg. And I'm going to do a bit of a hamstring stretch. So just placing my hands on my thigh here. I'm going to press that leg into the mat. We're activating the muscles here and folding forward with a nice straight back. We're going to hold this for a count to 15. And then we're going to relax the muscles in the leg and just fold as far as you can with a nice, without rounding your lower back. Just relaxing into that stretch. And coming back up. I'm going to switch legs now. So again, activating these muscles and pressing the back of the leg into the mat, flexing the foot, and holding for a count to 15. Now I'm just going to relax all the muscles in the leg and just relax into our stretch. Coming back up. We're going to lie down on our backs now. With our knees bent. And bring your heels about to where they can just touch your fingertips. And you want to have your feet hip width apart. We're going to come into bridge pose. So as you inhale, you're just going to start peeling your back up off of the mat, starting with the tailbone, and just working your way up. Lifting your hips up high. You're going to place our hands underneath our hips, interlocking our fingers. And then just sort of roll up onto your shoulders. Pressing the back of our arms into the mat. Lifting up high. Feeling the strength in your glutes, your thighs, and your legs. can either stay here, or if you want more of a challenge, you can lift one leg up towards the ceiling. And lower that leg. Lift the other leg. And lower. Release your hands and lower your spine back to the mat. Bring both knees into your chest. Just give them a squeeze into your chest and then rock from side to side. Release your knees. Place your hands behind your head. We're going to do some bicycles with our legs, just making pedaling motions. Now, if you want it to be easier, just reach your feet up towards the ceiling. And if you want more of a challenge, then extend your legs more horizontally. And if you want more of an ab workout, just lift your head up off of the mat, pressing your head into the back of into your palms. And if you like, you can bring your elbows to your opposite knees. Let's lower our head and lower our legs. Let's bring our knees back up one more time. Extend your arms out to the sides, palms facing down. And then just lower both knees to the side. Turn your head to face the opposite direction as your knees. We're going to bring our head and knees back to the center. And lower them in the opposite direction. Come back up to center, extend your legs. Bring your arms to your sides, palm facing up. We're just going to roll our head from side to side, releasing any tension in your neck. Bring our arms up above our head, stretching our toes down and our fingertips up. And then we're going to just start to walk our feet to the left and our hands to the left as well, coming into a bit of a crescent. Feeling a nice stretch all along one side of your body. And then walking your legs and arms back to center and then over to the other side. Coming back to center. And now we're going to settle into our relaxation. So just make yourself comfortable. You might want to grab some socks or jumper or blanket even to keep yourself warm. Want to just lie down in a nice, with your spine in a nice straight line. Your hands a comfortable distance away from your body, palms facing up. Allow your feet to fall outwards, fingers gently curled. Just relax your breathing. And begin to bring your awareness to your breath. I'm going to move through the different parts of your body, one by one. And I want you to focus on relaxing each part as I name it. Starting with the toes. Bring your awareness to your toes. And relax each toe. Soften the soles of your feet, arches, and the tops of your feet. Relax your ankles, your shins, and your calf muscles. Feel your calves pressing into the floor as you relax. Feel your knees soften and your thighs. Your hamstrings, release any tension in your glutes, your hips, and pelvis. Feel them pressing into the mat. Relax your lower back, your middle and upper back. Your abdomen is soft and it rises and falls with your breathing. Feel all your abdominal organs sinking towards the mat as you relax. Relax your chest, your lungs, and your heart. Soften your throat. Release any tension from your neck and shoulders. Feel that tension melting away. Relax your arms, your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists and hands. Palms are soft and warm, glowing with a subtle energy. Fingers are gently curled. Relax your neck and throat. Soften your jaw. Relax your cheeks. Your eyebrows and forehead. Your eyes are softly closed. Relax your entire scalp. And feel that relaxation making its way down your entire body, all the way down to your toes. Your whole body is soft, warm, and tension-free. You're completely relaxed. Now that your body is relaxed, bring your awareness to your mind. Watch the thoughts as they enter your mind, flash across the screen of your mind, and then fade away as new thoughts appear to take its place. Watch as an observer. Just distancing yourself from the activities of the mind. Without judgment, without trying to control the thought process, just witnessing. We're going to bring the mind into focus now on the mantras playing in the background. awareness back to the room. And wiggle your fingers and toes. Or to make gentle movements with your wrists, and ankles. Bring your hands up above your head. Give yourself a nice full body stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest, drawing them in close, and then rocking from side to side. Now just roll over to one side. Rest for a moment. And when you're ready, you can just come up, put yourself up. And we will do some Goronga breathing. So this is a meditation practice that involves the use of mantras, which are sacred transcendental sounds, and they are a way for us to connect with our true self, our spiritual self, that is residing within this external covering of the body as well as the covering of the mind. So mantras are a very powerful form of meditation, and they are the recommended process in this day and age. It's very easy to practice this form of meditation. We're just going to sit comfortably cross-legged, if that's right for you, with a nice straight back. Just like in the beginning, when we were focusing on our breathing, just nice deep breathing. We'll be doing the same here, and then we will be incorporating a mantra along with our breathing. So as we inhale, we will say the mantra silently within our mind, and then as we exhale, we'll say the mantra out loud, drawn out for the duration of the outward breath. And the mantra we'll be using is the Goronga Mantra, and that's split into 4 syllables. Just repeat after me. Gor, Ra, Ang, Ga. So it'll sound a bit like this. You'll take a breath in, exhale, and say Goranga. So we're all going to start together and then just carry on at your own pace. Rather than trying to keep up with the same timing as me, just go in the timing that is right for you and your own lung capacity. So try to focus your mind on the vibration of the mantra. If you feel it wandering, just gently bring it back. And let's get started. Take a nice deep breath in, carry the sound of the mantra in your mind. Goranga. And exhale, saying it aloud. Goranga. 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 And one more time. Goranga. Just relax your breathing. Allow the sound of the mantra to resonate within your mind. We're going to move on to another form of meditation now called Kirtan Meditation. I'm just going to grab the guitar. So with Kirtan Meditation, we also use mantras, and we sing them or chant them along with music. And then usually there'll be a person who leads the kirtan, and those responding will listen and receive the mantra, and then respond and sing the mantra back to the person leading. And then that way we each get a turn to listen and sing. This way it's very engaging for the senses, and when the senses are engaged, it's a lot easier to focus the mind. So again, just try to focus your mind on the sound vibration of the mantra, and just gently bring it back if you feel that your monkey mind is wandering around to other thoughts. So I'm going to use the mantra Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. I'm going to sing it twice through. If you don't know the words, then you can just listen first and join in once you familiarize yourself with it and feel comfortable doing so. We'll try to maybe leave the mantra in the comments for you. Madana So that concludes our session tonight. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a nice, relaxing evening, and see you next time.